I want to do a quick trailer tour, especially on the wiring of a lights inside of this trailer. This is made by Southland Trailer. It's a 16 foot long, 7.5 feet wide, and 7 foot tall. And if you can see here, it's only got about a half of a fender compared to that trailer back there, because this one's actually about 6 inches, 7 inches wider, which actually turns out to be a lot better. So it's made by Royal Cargo, and the nice thing with this is it has the all screwless exterior, so it's really got a nice finish to it. But I want to just give you kind of a quick tour here. Here's the ramp door. These are just flip up. This was actually used from the previous owner by using snowmobiles. So they put these ramps here. So this you just flip up when you're going to put the door up. And let's go through the tour here of this trailer. This is my buddy's trailer. I was helping him with the wiring on it. I did mine previously. I'll leave a link to my trailer. Mine's very, very similar to this one. But if you can see here how this 7.5 foot wide trailer has the fenders protruding into the cargo area, maybe 2.5, 3 inches wide. But because you have about 7 inches more width than a 7 foot trailer, this is a 7.5 foot wide trailer. It really gives you a lot more cargo room here. I want to show you what we did with the lights here. This is my buddy's trailer. I was helping him with the wiring on this because I did something similar to my trailer. But this is kind of set up to be like a dirt bike trailer, dirt bike ATVs. So you've got this E-track along the right side, actually on both sides, and then E-track on the wall. And then we have these wheel chocks that sit at a 45-degree angle, and you can pull your bikes in here and you anchor down to the floor here. So it makes it really versatile. And this E-track makes it easy because you can position the wheel chocks wherever or however you want them to go. But I want to talk about the wiring. I couldn't find a lot of videos on how to wire an external battery to a cargo trailer like this. You can see here we have these LED lights, 2 on every beam, and then a kind of this strip lighting all the way down that borders this wooden panel on the roof. It's pretty light outside right now, but I mean at nighttime this thing really lights up. It's all daytime or like daylight colored lights. It really just makes it pop. The only light that comes with the trailer is this little one here, and this only works if you're plugged into the truck and the truck's running, so you're running off the truck battery. So it's kind of, these trailers really don't come with a lot of lighting options. So here's what we did to do the wiring. I want to show you kind of what we did here. This is kind of the heart of the system here. So we have a marine battery. This is a Group 27 marine deep cycle battery, and from the positive side we just have a little marine this is just like a marine cutoff switch, on-off switch, so just on-off. Then the positive goes into this fuse block. The negative from the battery goes into the negative of the fuse block, and then I have all the lights. We have three different circuits on this panel here. So we have the cabin lights. This is where we basically ran the ceiling lights, the deck lights. These are the back. We have a light switch on the back, and then the accessory is. Let me show you what I did with the accessory. I actually ran the positive and negative through here, up to here, in these bins. So we've got 12-volt sockets in here to power chargers or a fan or something in there. So we've got a 12-volt charging source there. And then we also have a solar charge controller because we have a 100-watt solar panel on the roof. And so the charge controller just goes into the battery. So this side comes from the panel, this goes to the battery, and it just kind of keeps it topped off there. You can kind of see it's charging it up. It gives you your voltage. And this charge controller, this is a cheap charge controller, but it seems to be working pretty well. And it does have USB ports, so you can charge directly from the charge controller, like your phone, for example. Just plug in and you can get a charge right there. Now, how we ran the wires is we basically just ran for the lights in the ceiling and in the back. Just ran a positive and a negative for each circuit, up and then over, and then we tied in each panel into the main line there, and then it's all ran from a switch. So the switch basically is right here. This is like an RV switch. It really looks good, works well. So all we did is we just drilled a hole at the top here, ran the two wires down into here. So this one's for the ceiling lights, this one's for the back lights. Let me show you the back light here. The back light, we have that light right there. It's got a little spotlight just to shine some light in the back when you're loading up at night. It helps give a little light outside of the trailer. So a power wire goes into the switch and then it comes out, and then I just teed it off and just ran it down, a power wire this way, a power wire that way, and then as well as a ground. And so I basically just spliced every row into that main line all the way down, all the way back, so they're all on one circuit. Now these are LEDs, so they're not drawing a lot of power, so you can run that many lights off of one circuit. We're just using I think this is a 14 gauge wire that we used. Kind of see there the 14 gauge wire, and then just use little wire caps that you just crimp on to make all the splices. So there's a lot of splicing that was done. And then we have these two lights here that were actually installed when we got the trailer. They weren't hooked up, they're kind of aftermarket lights. So we've got quite a few LED lights on the ceiling, and it really turned out great. Up here in the front, I actually have another set of this strip lighting shining upwards to the ceiling, kind of like a tray lighting situation, and then you can kind of see on the back side it's shining against the ceiling. So this front part kind of has some accent lighting up to the ceiling, which looks pretty cool. But this is a pretty straightforward system. I mean, basically you just need a battery and then a way to charge it. You can install an onboard charger, or you can do a solar panel. Solar panel is nice because you can, wherever you're parked, you're getting charged. When you're on the road, when you're traveling, you're out using it, it's getting charged. And then I have everything just hooked up to my little accessory fuse block here. So I just run a positive and a negative from that, and I can run another circuit. I've got room for a couple more circuits there if we want to run other accessories and things like that. This is pretty much all we really want to do right now. You know, we've got our accessory outlet there, and then just lights. So it turned out really good. And the nice thing with these lights too is they're actually have a push button on off, so you can actually turn. So let's say you want to use this at night and you want to just maybe a couple of lights on as some accent lighting. You can do that. You can go through and turn all the ones on that you want on, turn them off, so they're kind of individually controlled with that switch on there, or you can just leave them on and they're all controlled with the switch right here on the wall. Just the on-off switch right here. So on, off, on, off, right that. And because they're hooked up to a master power switch, we're not using it. You can just turn this off and it cuts power to the entire fuse block, and that way it keeps the drain off the battery. But the fact that we have the solar panel on the roof really makes it so it doesn't really matter if there's a drain. Solar panel. This is only a 10 amp charge controller, so it's not charging it like super quick, but it's at least topping it off, kind of keeping up. These LED lights are not drawing much power off of the battery, so there's really no real concern there. If you're doing a lot heavier, if I'm doing a lot heavier usage, you know, I could get a higher amperage charge controller and charge a little quicker if needed. But I only have a 100-watt panel. I'll leave a link to the panel installation. Actually, on this black trailer behind me, this is my trailer. I did the same exact setup on the solar panel, and I'll leave a link to that video I did if you're interested in how I did the solar panel. But I think that's a good idea to have a solar panel because, you know, I don't want to have to remember to plug it in. I do have an onboard charger on the other one, and so I could plug it in when I'm at home. But when I'm out using it, if I'm out using it for a couple days, you know, I may not have access to power to plug it in. So these bins, these you can just get from Home Depot, and they're actually just screwed in right into the studs of the wall. They're super sturdy. Keep your stuff in there. Removable if needed. Just take the screws out of them. And then running the E-track neck as close to the wall as possible helps those dirt bikes stay in. Okay, this is an example of the wheel chock. These wheel chocks, I'll leave a link to these wheel chocks. All of the stuff that I'm talking about in the video, guys, I'll leave links to. So these wheel chocks, they can sit at a 45-degree angle, or you can angle them at a 90-degree. But the tire fits here, and then you just put two tie-down points on either side of the bike from the handlebars, and it stays in pretty well. So you could stack, you know, we could stack probably 8 bikes in here if needed. If you ran one all the way to the front here, and you could probably run, yeah, easily 8 bikes in here. And then we have them on the other side too. We could angle them here you kind of stagger them on this side too. So this is a really cool way to haul a lot of bikes. And those are removable, so you can take them out if you don't need them. Reposition them, however you need to haul. And then when you're not using it, you can just take those right out. They just snap into the E-track. You take them out, store them away, and you've got pretty much full access to the walls and the whole floor of the cargo trailer. Anyways, guys, hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'll leave links to these lights, these strip lights here, and then some of the wire and some of the supplies we use. But wiring's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, or check out my email in the description. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.